out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, my life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim me. Oh, I didn't know what was wrong with me. Your kiss helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. And if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Yeah. Oh, baby, what you done to me, what you done to me. You make me feel so good inside, good inside. And with you, wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. And if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Make me feel, yeah. Make me feel like a natural woman.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Hey. Ooh. Oh. Hey. When the night has come, hey, the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains shall crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand. Won't you stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, oh, oh. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you? Oh, yeah. Won't you stand? Won't you stand by me?
Wow. Omega B and Freddie.
Happy Wednesday
Freddie,
to you.
Unbelievable.
Good afternoon.
Now, we've never heard them play before.
Say hello.
Hello to New York City.
Say hello.
And New Jersey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm a little bit floored right
Say
now.
happy Wednesday, WGHT, 1500 New York City and 98.3
See, I
North
think you did all that
Jersey.
already.
We haven't been on yet. We've been listening to the music of Omega B and Freddie G. That's with an I-E and not a Y.
I know. They're amazing. Amazing sound. Amazing in a lot of different aspects as well. We're going to talk to Jeffrey from, we're going to thank GM Productions for sending him over. But there's a few other things that I want to work with. Joach has already contacted me for up north. So there's a lot of things going on right now. But welcome you guys to the house.
Thank you.
They left you a little flustered, I see.
I am.
Apparently you're a little
Talking to your microphone.
tongue-tied, flustered, not a whole lot to say today.
I've
What's
been-
up?
So much for having me.
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, the personalities are unbelievable. But second of all, the sound, I'm hearing for purity of sound, and you guys carry the notes. There's a lot of people that come in here and they can sing with noise behind them, music behind them, and everything else. But you guys, very little on music side, and you carry the notes.
Well, there's
It's
no
amazing.
auto-tune. You're talking a
Well,
voice
that's really
and a
kind.
piano.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome, and I love, he's an IE and you're a Y.
I know. He bought 2
Why?
vowels and I didn't.
You missed that show. Vanna White didn't make the money on you that time, huh? You did not
And
buy a vowel.
I have to return a compliment too. I have to tell your studio audience that, you know, when I watched from my computer, Dawn looked really good. She looks better in person.
She does.
Thank you.
She does real well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She cleans up real well, as they say.
It's the whole behind the scenes. Well, thank you. It is a pleasure to have you, and a huge thank you to Jeffrey Weinstein, JM Productions. We wish he had been here. We haven't seen him for a little
He's
while.
at the doctor's, but it's okay. We'll talk to him.
But such a pleasure to have you both join us.
Thank you.
So apparently you are talking to your audience in New Jersey, huh, Freddie?
I do. I have New Jersey roots.
Talk
I
to-
have New Jersey roots. I came to Florida, to South Florida in 2016 after 20 years of being a chauffeur in New York City.
Really?
Yes.
Did you drive from Atlantic City to New York?
You know, I'll tell you a funny story. I once was given a stretch limo. We worked out of Elmwood Park, New Jersey, northern New Jersey, a stretch limo to go down and pick up Michael Bolton, the singer, in Atlantic City. As I drove down in the stretch, which is like almost a 3-hour ride,
Yeah.
as I'm getting toward the casinos, I'm looking at the billboards, and I'm seeing that, it's funny, it seems like he played the other night. I get there, he's not there. They sent me down there, and he wasn't there.
A whole
He
nother
had
day.
already finished. So, you know, I mean, they paid me, of course, but
Did you work for Tony Baloney?
No,
You've got
no.
to be kidding me.
No, I worked for Music Express.
Music
there's-
Express is owned
Music
by Tony
Express was
Baloney.
the company I worked for.
It's a guy named Tony Baloney that I used to know that owned that company. I know you from somewhere.
That's
I
strange.
used to have a New York to Atlantic City run.
Did you really?
Stretch limo. Yeah, I did that for
You did
about
that
2
too?
years. Yeah.
Well, you go back a ways when we're talking about stretches because they went to SUVs pretty soon.
Stretches was in the day.
Right. Sure. Yeah. So
I
I
could
so I,
swear
I
I know
drove
this
back
guy.
alone because I never got Michael Bolton in the car.
And they paid you, so what? How bad
They
is that?
paid me, so it wasn't bad. Yeah, you know, I could relax. You know how it is in stretches.
How'd you end up getting a gig as a chauffeur? That's pretty cool.
It just kind of came to me. I had a business of my own. It's a long story, and it's not a good one. My business I was not successful as a businessman because I always just had a rock and roll dream anyway. But a friend of mine recommended this limousine thing, and I like people. And I never took any training. I just got in a car, went to pick somebody up, and drove them to Newark Airport, and it began.
So when you put the
20
glass
years.
between the two, did you really not hear them in the back seat?
Sometimes people put the divider up, and Freddie could tell you too, right?
Yeah.
It's when someone would,
Yeah.
and you hear the rumbling in the back, and you wonder what might be going on there. But it was not my business. You know.
Yes, but we heard everything. I'm
But
sorry
we
to
knew
tell you.
everything.
We
Oh,
heard
I'm
everything.
sworn to secrecy. I could give up people right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of the biggest deals in the
Someone
world
would
made
come
back
with
then.
guns, though. I don't want to.
Yeah, well.
You got to sign off on that one real quick, right? As a chauffeur driver, you do not know who was in the back seat of your car,
It's
what
just a
happened there, you know
cardboard
nothing.
with a piece of glass in it.
We talked about that in the
right.
morning show, right?
You know, it's funny because back in the day, we had to make ends meet. So when we used to try music careers or we tried anything careers, there was always that side hustle that they call a side hustle.
Sure. It wasn't that was not, something, you did that only to pay the bills.
That's right. I
And
used to
that's-
sell cheese
yeah.
on the truck to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right.
my training on a limo, a stretch is the long one. The guy tells me, Tony Baloney says, can you make a right? I said, can I make a right? He says, if you could turn it into a right, you got the job. That's all you had to do.
Sure, making lefts is easy in a stretch.
Really?
Think about it, a long car, making a right turn and a
wider
curve,
Tight.
from the
curve being
right
there
side.
and
You got to see the
you
curve
don't
and
want
not
to
take out
take
the
people
car.
along underneath the car.
That
with
would
you.
not be a good job for me.
But I used to tell you, I used to love, he just made that up, but I love that life because you got to meet entertainers
I'm
and
telling
singers.
you, we drove the rich and famous for the money. It was a very high quality limousine company.
You
And
know
I
what's-
really enjoyed it. The clients were the fun part for me. And I spent a whole day with Carlos Santana, talking in the car with him. Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. Like, actually bonded with these people sometime, and it was such fun,
Is that how you ended up in the music business?
No, the Beatles started me when I was like 11 years old. But, this worked out really well because me being a musician and driving people in the music industry was great. I mean, I didn't try to you know, like ingratiate myself with them. I mean, I had to be professional. But sometimes the conversation would get to the point where they'd say, well, you know, so what do you do? And I said, well, I play music. And, oh, really? Can you play? And I played music in the car. I had people compliment my songs.
Wow.
I mean, it was like,
And you sing and you play the piano, anything else?
I've always done that. Yeah, well, I play some guitar and some bass guitar.
But you
Yeah.
sing very well.
Well, thanks. I try.
You write
But
your
not
own
like,
music?
Not like Omega B.
She's
She's
amazing.
our singer.
Do you
This-
write your own music?
I do. Yeah,
Oh.
we're going to start to get to that, but right now we're doing other people's music. You know, we only met in May.
Yeah, we just met.
Oh, I thought you guys have
Closer
been.
to your,
I
your
thought-
mic, Omega.
We have a band.
Yes.
I thought you guys have been singing for forever.
No, we met in May actually. I go to a place called Blues Burgers on Wednesday. They do an open mic, and I was there, and a member of the band came in, and I was just singing, and he came over and asked if I would sing a few songs with him, and said, you know, that's what I love to do. So I just sung, and then they called me. I think it was the next day, and he told me, well, I have a band, and we're looking for a singer.
Yeah.
This is this year, May. So we just got together, and if you hear the band, it's
Yeah, we're new. We're
Yeah, it's-
like pretty new. I mean, you know.
When
big-
you're new
The-
together,
The band is called Gasparini Express.
How big is the band?
Five-piece.
5-piece. Yeah.
how long have you been singing?
Oh, my entire life. I come from a family of singers. We do music. Music is our thing, and it's kind of in our blood, you know. There's 8 of us, and I have like 3 sisters. I didn't know they could sing probably just as well as I did until a few years ago. You know, just being out with them and they start
There are
singing.
more of you?
Yeah, there's 8 of us. There are 8 of
8.
us.
More singers?
We got to bring all 8
Forget the
together.
Jackson 5. We've got the.
We got to bring all
we got
8
the
of them.
Omega 8.
All 8 sing?
I didn't realize we have a built-in backup singer
We got the
band,
Omega
too, you
8.
know?
I mean,
Like
you started singing at the age of 11 in Miami with Sony and some amazing names.
Keep your microphones up so we can hear
Since
you.
since I was a little girl, I started off 4 years old, and even when I was in elementary school, I didn't go to classes. I would go to UM. They would send me half the day to UM to learn about music. They considered me a prodigy child. So I sing, I play, I write, and I've been doing this. I have a funny story for you guys about my singing. Okay, so I was very serious about getting into the music business and from a very young age. So I would come home from school and get the white pages and go in my mother's room and lie on my belly and put little stars next to all the places and call them. So there's a place called Chase Music. They're still around. They've been around since 1975. I called them, and I was 12, and I told them, do you guys have any opportunities? Because I'm a singer, and I want to sing. So the guy's on the phone, and he could hear that I'm like a little kid, and he's like, we have opportunities, but where's your mother? Like, let me go get her for you. And I'm thinking he's going to offer me an opportunity. And he tells my mom, you know, she has to be older. And since then, I've been in so many rehearsals. I've been in that line so many times. And I would say about 15, I started working with a guy named Will Baskins. And I was a part of a girl group. And then I started working under Pantera Records. I got my first record deal. They're the same people who put out Expose, and started working under them. And then I've always kind of done work, not only as an artist, but also as a coach. So I help other people in the studio as well.
So are you still cutting records?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The latest opportunity came from me now over 10 years ago, but I was working with another singer, and she had a studio gig. I do a lot of studio work. So she had a studio gig, and she brings me in to coach her. And the producer, who's Frank Ferry, and he hears me in the booth working with her, and he comes in and he's just standing there looking at me. And I'm like, okay, this is awkward. So he asked me to sing for him. So I sing a few songs, and he's like, you know, we're working on a project, and we need a singer. Well, behind that, I've sung on so many songs. I have worked on Celine Dion songs. I've done songs back in Christina Aguilera, Chris Mann. So I do a lot of background work and like the pre-production work where we lay down the vocals and all that. And then the major artists, they come in and they sing that. So, and then live, I've been doing my live stuff forever. I had a band, Pegasus Flight. And all of this happened here in South Florida.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my band, we were very big. We had so much fun. And then I record. So I record all types of songs. And I'm working with my daughter right now. Her name is Angelica Mooney, and she is phenomenal.
How old is she?
She's 25. We get together and we write songs. She was my co-writer. A lot of people didn't know that when I would go and do shows. She was the person that I give her a line. It started off a word, a line, a phrase. Now she writes songs, you know, on her own without me. But her stuff is so good. We're recording. We're still in like the production phase of her career.
Were your parents in the music business also?
My father, his family, we're all musicians. There's so many music people on that side of the family. My mother loved to sing, but I wouldn't say as much in the music business. My father's side, yes, we have people in the music business.
Got to figure for 8 of you to be in the music business, there has to be this genetic family passion and component to this.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
So you guys must sing everything across the spectrum. Wow.
Yep.
Freddie,
I'm
you got
classically
lucky.
trained, so I could sing from a first soprano down to like I'd say sometimes a second tenor. And
Really?
I'm stylized, so I like to sing different types. I was the little kid that would, I don't know if anyone else could, like if they did this when they were young, but I would come home and run straight into the room. And I'm in the room with the music, and I'm trying to become, they put me in the garage. In my family, I was the kid that they moved out of the house into the garage because it was every day, singing every day.
And where did the two of you play? Where's the band play?
Well, we're just starting to, like I said, we're pretty new.
Okay.
We're just getting going.
Keep your mic up, Freddie.
We played recently in Cooper City at the American Legion. We like playing for the vets.
Keep your mic up so they can hear.
And
you.
Yes.
and we'll have more gigs in American Legion. We're going to be playing at Dania Beach soon at the American Legion there, and on the 26th of September we have a really nice gig. There's a really nice club right here in Boca. Have you heard of the Funky Biscuit?
Yeah.
We'll be the guest band
Wow.
for the Funky
Very
Biscuit.
nice.
We'll be the featured band.
Have you ever been
We're
there?
excited about that. You know,
That'll be
so.
fun. I haven't been, but
That's
Oh,
great
you
nice.
should
names
go. Oh, it's
go
great.
through
You
there.
know,
Nice place.
you know, there are places that are bars. This is a nightclub. It's a nightclub. It's really nice. It's set up really well. Great stage, full sound system with the sound man, and
How do
really,
people
really
find your band, find the information? You have a website or?
we do. In fact, Omega B is has built our website. She has her own, and put us on there.
Yeah.
And we could be found on Facebook under Gasparini Express, Gasparini, under my name, Gasparini, or under Freddie Gasparini.
You bought a lot
You
of
can
vowels.
find me, and I put YouTube videos up. We're just really starting to roll out now, and we've met.
Yeah, Jeff-
and Jeff is the
Jeff
guy that.
reached out to me, and he's doing the booking for a lot of the engagements that are coming up now.
I met him yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how
Me
new
too.
everything is.
All right, maybe you have another song for us. So take us out to a commercial
Yeah,
break.
we would love to.
Of course.
His parents bought a lot of eyes. Freddie and
Isn't
Gasparini.
isn't there a Gasparini thing in Tampa?
Gasparillo?
Gasparini.
Island.
Isn't it Gasparilla? Isn't that a music festival, I think, Josh, at Gasparilla?
Yes.
I think Teddy used to go to that a
Yes,
whole
it's a
lot.
Gasparillo.
Could be. We're
That's
going
a
to have them
Gasparilla.
take us out to commercial break with another song from Omega B and Freddie G. And when we come back, we're going to talk to
Mr. Frank.
Frank Rufola. We really have to talk about Lady of the Harbor and 10048 for everyone that is listening in New York City and New Jersey and all over the WGHT area.
They're going to enjoy that segment.
And Paul Solomon from Luhu Advisors, I believe he just walked in the door.
He did.
So whenever you're ready, stay tuned.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. You make me feel so brand new. I'll never be untrue. Since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever, is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to, 'cause I wanna spend my whole life with you. Oh, baby, let's stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Come on. Yeah. Whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Why do people break up? Ooh, turn around and make up. I just can't conceive you never do that to me.
I'll hold you, baby.
'Cause being around you is all I see. You what I wanna do, we all stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy, sad. Let's stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad, good or bad, happy or sad, good or bad, happy or sad. Oh, let's stay together.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyreshevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyreshevsky@gmail.com. That's amyreshevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day. Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Hey travelers, everybody wants cheap airfares, but where can you find them? You call Smart Fares. Our prices are direct from the airlines and they're so low they're not published anywhere. Smart Fares specializes in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rentals, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, Smart Fares can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call us right now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these low rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the lowest rates available, so don't wait. Call Smart Fares right now for the best price guaranteed. Save up to 50% off business and first class. We've got great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 855-828-0198. That's 855-828-0198. 855-828-0198.
If your family is suffering from inflation and high costs caused by Lois Frankel's reckless policies, Republican Dan Franzese is clearly your best choice for Congress. Dan is a successful businessman who understands finance and economics. He's not a politician. Dan grew up blue collar and knows how tough inflation is on working families. Dan Franzese will go to Washington and fight the liberals who are killing us with inflation. Dan Franzese for Congress.
I'm Dan Franzese and I approve this message.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hey, we're back.
It looks like it is still being debated.
You kidding?
One of the primaries. Nope.
The one that I wanted to know?
Yep.
Debated?
I think it's still very too close to call.
You kidding me?
Nope.
I heard that the elections had short staff and that it was going to take to the end of today.
I don't know. This looks like it's the only one that's still out and controversial.
Maybe
District
it's that
22.
tab. What is that?
The hanging Chad?
The hanging Chad.
He's in the lead right now, but it's looking like it's still under controversy. Anyway, welcome back, WGHT. Beautiful music of Omega B and Freddie G with an IE. So, Paul, he got some vowels. This one didn't, but we're good to go. We have to talk to Frank Ruffolo, our author to, I don't know, the Muses, I guess. We have yet to talk about 10048 and Lady of the Harbor, because those are the ones New York-based, kind of your genre.
Oh, you're getting specific.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask him some other stuff.
Go ahead.
Okay, no,
You
let's
had
start.
a whole
Let's start with the books. We already started today.
You started that conversation, but let's start with the books, and we can digress over to that side.
10048. Let's start there because I'm looking right at it.
10048. That's my third book in of a four-book series on Jack Stenhouse detective series. Jack is a homicide detective in the 1st Precinct in Manhattan. 10048 was the original zip code for the World Trade Center. And what happened there is, on the 50th anniversary, at the reflection pool, I found a man poisoned to death with a gold coin in his hand. And he was the manager owner of a precious coin distributor that was destroyed during the collapse of the Trade Center, and $10 million worth of gold coins went missing. They were never found. And Jack now has to discover with his team who killed this ghost in 9/11, how did he escape the tragedy of 9/11 and the collapse of the building, where has he been for 15 years, and where's the gold?
What year did you write that book?
It was mid early 2000, 2010, 2011, somewhere in there, 2012.
I know you seem to think there's a link between
there's always a link.
And
that's one of the things I like to talk to him about, because there's always a message. Now this is a fictional book, correct?
This is a fictional book, but there was a story saying that there was a gold distributor in the building of one of the towers
he's
of
shaking his head, yes.
Trade Tower. And
Absolutely.
$10 million worth of gold was never officially found.
We know the story, and it's true. So, did you base it on that story, or did
I
you?
I took the premise of that story and expanded it to
your book.
The book, which I like to do.
Paul, what'd you do with the gold, Paul? Where's the money?
So, in writing this book, you expanded on it. Have you gotten any feedback as far as the truth versus where you put it?
I've had people tell me, "Oh, I remember there was a story of the $10 million worth of gold," and I said, "Well, that's my theory on where it went."
And this is the theory from. We have to talk about where you get all your inspirations from.
I have my muses; they give me inspiration.
Different muses for different inspirations.
Basically, just one muse.
So you're trying to tell a story, or is this muse, what's the deal?
I am influencing people with my stories. My science fiction, faith-based science fiction, I try to inspire with scripture and build a fictitious story around it.
So
how is this scripture-based? 10048.
That's not. My science fiction books are. My other books are standard murder, mystery, or action adventure. There's always some scripture in the books because it's always good against evil. So, but it's,
and you want to mix it up. You don't just have.
You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to be. I don't want to be a. I don't want to be a preacher. So
he doesn't want to be seen as one that uses books.
Right.
To teach. He wants it to be entertaining.
I want it to be entertained, and in some of the books I teach.
I'm thinking all the books you teach, because you get people to think, and if people are thinking, then there's a message.
If they're thinking, they're learning.
Correct.
Have you ever done a seminar on the other books? The ones that teach?
No. I should.
Why don't you? Well, that's my question. Don't ask my question, because I want to know why you don't.
I should.
You should, because then this winding road that you and I are taking was sort of.
You guys seem to like that. That's the muck and the murk I discussed this morning.
Because with him, you don't know really what's going on. And then he gives you that grin, and you ask a certain question. He gives you the grin, so you're on the right path of where because he has a path. He does this for a reason. He's no different than what Paul does.
He doesn't say much, but yeah, when he did,
says a lot.
When he did Tell Us Your Biz last week, you had a lot to say.
Yep. Holy smokes! Where did that come from?
As
you just came out and let it all hang out that day.
That was I liked that. That was a good show.
It was a very good show. You should do seminars based on the other material. Of course, we have to get people to understand that material and where you're coming from. So the leading question is, if you were to take one of the books, anyone that you want as a leading learner, what would that leading learner bring in terms of the public?
I would probably start with my first sci-fi book, which is Gabriel's Chalice, which basically prophesies what's going to happen before Judgment Day. And it's going to teach the people that they should not lose their faith.
That's a big one.
Is that bad?
Is that bad to lose your faith?
No, it's that bad that you don't want to lose your faith. Because something bad.
Well, Judgment Day isn't really anything bad. Judgment Day is only going to be bad for the people who choose it to be bad. Because we're going to have to choose on Judgment Day, and the one that chooses wisely will suffer the good consequence. The one that chooses poorly will suffer the bad consequence.
So the book will enhance that Judgment Day will occur, or does it enhance good versus evil? Does it enhance people today changing their ways? 'Cause I'm going to tell you something.
It should
ain't too
enhance
good
the
today.
people in changing their ways and reestablishing their faith that goodness will be rewarded on Judgment Day.
It's like, which way do you choose Wednesday? We started the morning off with this. You have choice. Which way do you choose?
You have a choice in your life. We all have eternal life. It's it's the address as how you react in your life to make it eternal life and where your final address is going to be. Everybody has eternal life. It's your address at that point. Your final address is what the address you're going to choose to take.
You go with faith for your final resting place, or do you choose the other way?
Well, what do you do with people who walk around that have absolutely no faith? You don't call them bad people, but what do we do?
What we can do is tell them and try to teach them and guide them in the right path. It's their choice. They have free will. They have free
always
will.
free will.
Everybody has free will. They can do whatever they want.
And what about Lady of the Harbor?
Lady of the Harbor. Jack body was found on the observation deck of the Torch, which is closed to the public. And Jack and his team has to find out how this body got there and who did it.
It's the Statue of Liberty.
And again, you tell me.
I was told that there was a body there, and that's why they closed it. My brother told me that story.
Do we have
because
to make
he
a
went-
movie out of that one?
He went up in the Torch. He was the only one in our family that got to go up. I don't know how.
The
I
Torch
did
used to
that.
be open when
Yeah.
when the Statue of Liberty first opened.
Yeah.
It was first in the early 1900s. The Torch was open. Everything was open, and then they
closed
it.
They put a big panel up,
And
and they
because
said
her
that it
arm
was in.
weak, right?
Yeah, it was in. It was. That's what they said. But
And I believe when it was just refurbished in the late 1900s, where they just did the whole refurbishing of the Statue of Liberty, and they put the new torch. I think for a very short period of time, upon the new reopening, the torch was open for about a week, and then they closed it down again.
Wow. More to come. We got to head over and talk to Paul also. But, you know, a lot of Frank's stories have the truth in it, and then you're able to expand.
Most of my stories are either taken from articles that were in the news or stories that were in the news, and I expanded them, or some of them became news after
you wrote
After he
them.
wrote them. That's a whole nother side
that's
of
a
this interview, right?
whole nother show.
But that's a whole nother show. But that's the one that I would like to do some seminar work. I'd like Frank to introduce himself to a group of people. That way you get to learn quicker. Because he's writing other books, and I like to know what the future. So I would do a seminar and then leave a cliffhanger as to what's to come.
Why don't we talk about that on the 1 o'clock hour?
Okay. So
Talk
just
about
stay
that.
right there. Don't go away.
Don't go away. We're going to talk about that on the 1 o'clock hour.
Let's
but
go to Paul.
We're getting ready to hit season. I wanted to make sure we got this information out for Luhu advisors, because season, which is funny in Florida, is based on the Jewish holidays. Why? It just is. And they happen to be next month. So after the Jewish holidays is primarily when our snowbirds start coming back down. So we're looking at about 6 weeks from now, right? End of September, early October, when people start migrating down from the Northeast.
So you guys in New York, this is for you.
This is exactly for you. And for those kids that have parents are already down here, we got to get this information out, because Paul is able to help so many people. Every which way, hashtag it works. I got to call Paul. Everyone, JC, I got to call Paul.
It's crazy. I think the season started already, personally,
you?
for me, because the adult children are, this past 2 weeks, have been coming out of the woodworks, you know, trying to find this information out there. They're all trying to work, take care of their own kids, and then something has happened to their parents. 80, 85, 90, 95. I think somebody was 98 that I spoke to the other day. And it just comes down to health issues. Everybody was coasting along, and then boom, something happened. Slip and fall. Just health has deteriorated quickly. And they realize that whether it's legal documents, whether it's the bank accounts, the adult children are scrambling because they think just because you're a son or daughter that you can walk into any financial institution and talk to people, and you can't. You need a power of attorney. And that's been the biggest issue. I just had somebody before that just sent me a power of attorney, and I said, where did you get this done? And they said, oh, an attorney did it. Now, again, I'm not an attorney, but I've been around one full-time for the last 15 years. That, what they showed me wouldn't be accepted in any bank or any financial institution.
Why is that? They're not all created equal?
They're not all created equal. I don't even know if it was from the state or not. There was no really name of the law firm. I mean, it was bad.
Interesting.
And I said, before I even get started with you, I know that from my experience that this is not going to work. So either you need to get another one. I can get you one from the attorney that I work with. Would your mom be willing to sign it? Because if your mom doesn't sign this, then we can't do what you want to do. That's sell the house, move mom into an assisted living, have total control over everything. She thinks she does. She hasn't used this document yet. And I said, I can't start with you until you see that works. And I am telling you, I don't think that's going to work.
So people that are moving down here, Northerners, because they do, that's just what's happening. And I know it's happening because today the traffic was unbearable. To get here was unbearable.
I tell you, I was going 6 miles an hour. Yeah.
I mean, where did all these people come from? And the people that bought the houses and everything else during the craziness.
School, sure.
And back in school and everything else, second week, this has been just horrendous. All these people, if you bring somebody down from another state, you can work with them if they're going to permanently stay in Florida, or can you work with them even if they're going back?
I mean, I have some people that go back and forth. So I'm just trying to explain to them, depending upon, again, is it mom or dad? What's going on? A lot of people have their old power of attorney or their old legal documents from their other states. And I explain to them, and then they then go see the attorney. And yes, if they're going to become a resident of the state of Florida, they should get their documents updated. There's no doubt about it. They're not all created equal.
And I have to ask you, as far as trust, when people are putting their money in a trust, what is the limit now? Is it still at the 11 million where it does not have to be in a trust for probate reasons?
Well, again, a trust is not protecting you with taxes. So that's, it's not, you're not setting up a revocable trust for taxes. It's really more for probate, right? And again, depending upon what your wishes are, if you have younger children or grandchildren, you're putting your wishes into those trusts so that when they either hit 21, 30, 35, that the money would be distributed. That's what you're using the trust for. It's not necessarily creditor protected, but it's really about probate. So that's where you're setting up this trust. Otherwise, you don't need a trust if you have beneficiaries on all your accounts. You don't have to go run to set it up. If you know that who you want to leave your money to, make sure your bank accounts, checking accounts, any insurance policies, your financial accounts all have a beneficiary on there. And that just simplifies everything.
So then you don't need the trust?
Not necessarily, unless you're leaving different amounts of money to different people. You want to make sure it's dispersed properly based on age. Then yes, set up a trust for that.
Well, there are certain reasons to set up a trust. I think
Correct.
that's a better way of presenting, depending on what your circumstances are.
Every family's different.
Exactly. Every circumstance is different
Correct.
in that family. But the important thing that I want you to understand is that with more cars, more traffic, more things can happen. You should call Paul and set up what you're going to do, because you never know what can happen. I told my sister this. I said, you ain't getting younger, sis. And when you come down to Florida to visit and they rent a car, they think that just because they rent a car, they can't be an offender bender. And you got to be careful. I'm just telling you the truth. So get your papers in order.
And you need to talk to multiple people. I had a client yesterday call me. They spoke to 2 different attorneys and then spoke to me. Somebody referred them to me. And when I gave him the information, he gave me the story, I gave him the information. And it's like, it's crazy how one attorney gave me one set of information. The other one gave me a piece of the other one, and you kind of brought it together. And I said, okay, both of them aren't wrong. They just don't know that end of the business, that end of what needs to be done. Just because they're a lawyer doesn't mean they touch everything. I kind of touch everything to try and guide you and say, okay, when you go to the attorney, if you don't use the one that I'm affiliated with, tell them this.
Right.
And that's kind of what happened. One attorney could do the Medicaid end of it, but didn't understand the real estate end of it. The other one understood the real estate and estate planning end of it, but didn't understand the Medicaid end of it. Or I came in the middle of it and said, okay, this is what you need to do, and let's bridge the gaps.
That's pretty
And
cool.
you've got the team that works together.
I have a team of 4, 5, 6 people that work together. And I work with people's financial advisors. I work with their CPAs. I'll even speak to their attorneys if they love their attorney. But then there's other people in the senior world. I'm speaking tomorrow morning with a geriatric care manager in their office. so that these people are touching all these different families and making sure that they understand the correct information. You want to keep your family member at home? Okay, there's this financial help from the government that maybe you don't know about. So I'm going to speak to, I think they have 7 or 8 managers within this office that I'm going to speak to, just to tell them, hey, have them call me. No obligation, no charge. Let me try and help them out and get the right information out there.
Is that the same thing like going into an assisted living facility? Forget about this, just a facility. Do you do that kind of work where you go to a facility, offer your services to everybody who's in there and their families and see what happens?
I try to get through the gatekeeper. I speak to the sales and marketing people because they're the ones that are speaking to all these people. And depending upon the community, if they do take Medicaid or not, or they, explain to people they have these benefits, whether it's the veterans benefits, if somebody was a wartime veteran, or their spouse, and or trying to get Medicaid, I do get leads from there. So I do. A lot of places think that when I go in there, I'm trying to sell something as opposed to trying to educate. So it's kind of sometimes hard to get in that door unless I know the people involved and say, hey, let me just do a quick workshop and let's see if we can get outside people to come in.
Yeah, I can see that working. And by the way, they already put your banner up at the radio station called The Educator. The Luhu Educator, he was the first one they put up.
I was wondering where that came from.
They put it up. I gave them a whole bunch of them.
Luhu Advisors. But I was actually talking to someone over the weekend, and they're our age, and they've already set up everything. So they travel a lot, and they wanted to make sure everything needed to be where it is.
It's a good idea.
It's already been set up in their 50s. So they said someone had told them, just put it in place now. And then I guess it trickles down to the kids and everything that needed to be in place instead of waiting until they're 80. So you can help people in our generation where you wouldn't think about it, right? We're thinking we want to help our parents, but maybe we need to help ourselves as well.
No, we definitely. I mean, I love speaking. I'll call us the baby boomers, even though we're just under the baby boomer age. But I love trying to educate people too. Long-term care is the biggest issue. We're dealing with our parents, we're dealing with our aunts and uncles, we're seeing how much money they're blowing through and trying to protect their assets. But why aren't we doing it? And the biggest educational thing that I'm trying right now is to educate people and saying, listen, it's not spend it or lose it. You can spend it, but it's an investment. It's not an expense. And there's ways to protect that money you're spending through life insurance policies and annuities to then possibly turn on living benefits as opposed to just a death benefit.
We got to do a whole seminar on that. How do people reach out to you?
Cell phone number is 954-540-6609, or go to my website, luhuadvisors.com.
And Frank, how do people get your books?
My books are on Amazon, online. They're online with Barnes & Noble online. Most of the major bookstores online, my books are there. Just search my name, Frank A. Ruffolo, Ruffolo.
Do you have a favorite book that you've written so far?
The one I'm writing now. It's always the next one.
The one that's still in the editing process as the editor sits on the other side of the studio.
Amazon sent me influencer books right now in my email. Don't tell me they're not listening.
Everybody's listening.
That's kind of scary.
They're all listening.
Wow.
But we've got more to come on the other side of this commercial break. WGHT, happy Wednesday. Which way would you choose Wednesday?
That's right, Frankie. Hello, Frankie in New York.
I got to tell you, you got to choose faith. You got to choose hope. I don't go through the sludge in the mush pond.
Hey, we're back to that.
We're back to that. Give us a call on the other side of this break, 888-994-4995. For those that are listening, we'll see you next week. And for those that are watching, stay tuned. We'll be back with some more music and some more fun.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you. Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Hi, I'm Dawn Clifford, owner and founder of Clifford Insurance Advisors. Established in November of 1999, we focus on mainly health, life, disability, Medicare, and long-term care insurance. Specifically for people aging into Medicare or the self-employed or even employee benefits for small business owners. We can be reached by phone number at 561-880-0391 or by email info@cliffordinsuranceadvisors.com. Visit our website at www.cliffordinsuranceadvisors.com and even visit Facebook, Clifford Insurance Advisors.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Welcome to Movies of Del Rey, a family-run movie theater that has been serving the Del Rey and Boca community for over 30 years. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Movies of Del Rey offers great admission prices, low concession prices, and quality customer service. Movies of Del Rey provides the quality of the big box theaters without the price tag. Movies of Del Rey provides new Hollywood content as well as new indie and independent movies. It truly is a hidden gem. Whether you're hosting a private event, party, or fundraiser, or are looking for your next date night activity, Movies of Del Rey is the perfect choice. Come on down to Movies of Del Rey, located at 7421 West Atlantic Ave in Del Rey Beach, or visit us online at moviesofdelrey.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hey, Omega B, what time of year is this?
It's the summertime.
It still is, right?
Yeah, we still got a few weeks.
Summertime, easy. Fish jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mother's good looking. Hush, little baby, and don't you cry. Soon, one morning, you're gonna rise up singing. You spread your wings, take to the sky. But till that morning, there's no one to harm you. With mama and daddy standing
I gotta tell you, do you guys have a song that you love doing more than anything else?
I have a favorite song since I was a boy. It's called Anyone Who Had a Heart. It was Burt Bacharach's first hit, and
We don't have
it
one.
was done by Dionne Warwick.
You don't too.
We do that one.
You have it?
Sure.
Let's do that. I want to
Let's
hear.
do it.
What?
Do another one?
Yeah, let's do another one. I want to hear what your favorite sounds like.
You ready, Yolanda? Yeah. Okay. This is a favorite one, so thank you.
Anyone who's ever loved can look at me and know that I love you. Anyone who's ever dreamed can look at me and know I dream of you. Darling, I love so. Anyone who has a heart will take me in his arms and love me too. You couldn't really have a heart to hurt me like you've hurt me and be so untrue. What am I to do? Every time you go away, I always say, this time it's goodbye, dear. But loving you the way I do, I take you back. Without you I die, dear. Knowing I love you so. Anyone who has a heart would take me in his arms and love me too. You couldn't really have a heart to Knowing I love you so. Anyone who has a heart could take me in his arms and love me too. You couldn't really have a heart to hurt me like you hurt me and be so untrue. Anyone who has a heart will love me too. Anyone who has a heart would take me in his arms and always love me. Why? What won't you?
I'm taking the furniture apart.
Nice. Why is that your favorite?
It's an early influence for me. I mean, I've loved music my whole life, and once the Beatles came, that's really when things took off for me, and I became a musician. I started to play music, but prior to that, this song was pre-Beatles, and I heard this song, and it is probably what made me always be a lover of melody. It just was such a beautiful song. It still is, and really special. And funny thing about it is, I've waited my whole life to be able to do that song, and Omega B sings it great, as you just heard. And we're doing it as the band now. We're doing it with the band, and it's such a blessing for me to be able to do a song that I've always loved.
And Omega, you love that song too?
I love all types of songs. I mean,
Let's get a room.
I just love singing. Singing is my thing. So that song has a beautiful feel to it, and you could tell that it was written about a story. You could tell there's a story behind that song. It's not just lyrics that are kind of there, So one thing I like to do is put emotion in the songs. I listen to the lyrics, so I try to emulate what the lyrics are saying.
I look around the room and I watch Paul. He's just smiling, not shaking his head. Everyone's just enjoying the music. And you think about lyrics and
really enjoy
how lyrics inspire, right? When the written word and what you can do with the written word. Frank inspires with the written word and what he does through his books and his music, and then you put some music to it, and it takes a whole nother feel.
Well, it's interesting. I asked Freddie this question just like I want to ask Frank. I mean, you have, like your book you're writing right now is your favorite, but there's an inspiration that you build up to doing these things. It's not like you wake up one day and says, okay, I'm going to be an author that writes 16 books in a pop. I mean, you sort of have a game plan about how things make you feel. Is that a fair?
I would say so, yeah, sure.
A fair thing to say. Even
how
Paul,
it makes you feel.
You wake up in the morning and you like helping people. You're one of the few guys I know that really loves what you do, and you love it. It's like a passion for you. And then we have Jeffrey in the studio as well.
Welcome back. How are you doing?
For having him.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What happened?
Oh, I took a fall about a week ago.
You didn't fall here?
No.
He's done that already before, too.
Of all places, I fell at Cleveland Clinic.
Uh-oh, they're going, oh. You know what I say? Call Paul. Paul, you got someone for that?
Probably a good place to fall, actually, if you're going to fall somewhere, right?
What can I tell you?
You fell into the bed before they checked you out. Wow. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
You look like you had a fight with Muhammad Ali.
Actually, Mary Lynn hit me with a baseball bat.
Is that what it is?
Mike, Josh?
That's what it is?
5 or 6?
But I love it. I love the passion and everything. We have passion for what we do here as well, and bringing people in here to add to our passion. I'm sure when you guys are playing in concerts, you get this feel. You still get the nervous Nellies before you go on stage?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That means you're
Always.
doing it right. You too?
It's healthy.
No.
You don't?
I get excited.
Really?
It's like a playground. I don't know, for me, it's like I'm able to, touch people with my words and with different sounds. And it feels, I don't know, it's like a playground. I mean, if people listen most of the time, I'm catching it with myself as I say when I'm finished with the set, oh, that was fun.
In my case,
oh, that was fun.
In my case, I live in constant fear of embarrassment.
Because you're playing not to lose. You're playing. You don't want to make a mistake.
I'm telling you, constant fear of
Singing
embarrassment.
and playing the piano at the same time is tough.
Well, it can be.
You get used to it, but it's tough.
It's it's not hard to do. It's hard to do well.
So you like them, huh?
Well, I love them. It's a nice set. They have a different sound.
They do.
And it's pure.
That's what hit me. I don't have anybody like them at JM. And we had a rehearsal, actually, yesterday. I went to their rehearsal with the band. And they're really good. And they're going to be playing this Saturday at
Fish Market.
City Fish.
City Fish.
The restaurant?
In Boca.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite restaurant.
Yeah, they're going to be there from
Saturday
6 to 9.
6 to 9?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be mobbed.
I know. I'll be there. But
you always get there, but that's my favorite restaurant.
Maybe we should go.
That's my favorite restaurant. Also, I wanted to invite, now that you're here, this is why I asked you to come. I'd like them to do, we have a cafe night show, Cafe Night Train we do at Thursdays, 7:30. A week from next Thursday is open, and I'd like them to perform. The oldies that you have is perfect. We play it on the radio, and they like the oldies tune. That's what they were looking for as well, so maybe we could talk about doing that as well.
So it's a week from tomorrow or 2 weeks?
2 weeks from tomorrow.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Because tomorrow we got Frank coming, and next week we have not Ron, but
Rio. Sounds like.
And then the week after that is open.
Sounds good. That'll be nice.
Okay,
Should be a lot
I'm
of
sure we'll be able to do it.
Sounds good.
That's a lot of fun as well.
Are you going to be here or at the other
Right
thing?
here.
We're going to be here.
And you want the two or do you want the band?
Well, we'll talk about that. I'll take whatever I can get.
We'll see. And actually, we got to tell Paul. Paul, I think we might be starting to move your new show here on Tuesday nights.
Really?
So you can kind of do seminars, bring people in.
That's the new thing now, bringing the people in.
Q&A.
Okay.
We want you guys, when you're doing your thing, same with Frank, we want you guys to go what they call skin to skin, to be able to talk to people. When people come out for JC's show, they come out for the music stuff. There's no reason why in between you can't talk to them about the things you do, hand out cards. I mean, you've been here.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make that bigger. Now we got new AC, so it's not hot anymore.
So much better now. Now I'm good.
Oh my God, you can hang meat in here. Yeah.
That was the landlord's idea.
You can't hang meat in here. I wish. They turn it up.
They're in there in jackets.
Are you cold?
No.
Are you guys cold?
I can tell you got new
It's
AC,
nice.
right?
It's better in here. It's definitely better in here.
It's so much better in here.
You got new AC, right?
Yeah, look at that hole.
Oh.
Yeah, we still will. You know what? I forgot that we never put a grate up there, but it's okay. It works, so we'll take it.
Well, we did it on purpose, and he was here. I think, Frank, you were here on a Thursday also? Or no?
One of the nights.
One of the nights. It was warm.
It was warm. It was very warm.
Yeah.
So we did this to change it out so that when the groups come and they sing or people do seminars and things of that nature, you can't put people in a hot room because nobody will come out the second time.
We're realizing that some of the radio shows, they want to bring other people in. And they're not like hanging out in a hallway at the radio station. So we'll just send the sound from here to there.
How you doing? That's
They're
a
telling us
commercial?
we have to go to a commercial. We'll get one in a little bit. So we can bring people in, ask questions. It seems even Freddie came, the other Freddie, i.e. Freddie, came up to you because you help everybody.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, someone says, Paul, I got a question.
Yeah, and I guess I just was texting a client. Unfortunately, their mother passed away, and there's an IRA issue, and the beneficiary wasn't changed. I didn't know about it originally, and I would have helped them. Now they might have to go to probate. Now they have to speak to an attorney because they didn't do I'm going to say they left it the way it was. They did not do the right thing. They just left it and never called me on it. And if they called me on it, knowing what was going on, I would have told them to change the beneficiary on there. They didn't. So now he has to go speak to an attorney. So, I mean, things like that, it's ongoing with clients. Once I get them the benefits that they're looking for, I want them to call me to make sure they don't make the mistakes down the road, which they can make.
And we want people to realize that not everyone has to be wealthy to work with Paul.
No.
Part of what you do is to help people that need financial help and assistance.
Yeah, I mean, I give advice all day long. I don't get paid for it. It's my way of giving back. And again, the story was my parents. There was nobody there for me. I was given a lot of misinformation 13 years ago, 14 years ago. And I said that once I'm in the position to give out the information, I want to give it out. Because again, there's so much misinformation out there that people need to know all the right information. And I do it all day long.
Jeffrey, you have a question? Okay, he's just waving his thing.
I was just
he's
going
waving
to say
his mic
that
around.
we're developing an actual venue show with them now. Because they're so used to doing restaurant gigs, we're going to be doing actual venue shows.
We're gonna all talk about that. But what he does is, Paul, he opens the conversation.
Right.
To have the conversation.
You need somebody to have the conversation, and once the conversation opens, there's so much information out there. There's so many things to deal with.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is that when you're trying to do information, one thing is entertainment. You got Freddie, you got Omega. Entertainment sort of bleeds itself. They're going to sing, they'll say a few words, sing another song, like what JC does. But when it comes to information, it's a whole different type of gig. It's informing people, giving them the information, letting them know that if you read this or you understand this, it can change your thinking about what you're going to do next. And I think everybody in here will agree that if you create a path and it's the right path, that's a good thing. Or it shows you you're doing the wrong thing, right? As your books say, as you tell people, you know, you thought this was the right way and it's not the right way. And I'm telling you from experience because I went the wrong way with mom and dad. I just did the wrong things.
But you didn't know.
I didn't know. But I didn't take the time out to get educated, to sit down and listen for a minute. I think maybe the problem is when you're young, you're just young and stupid. And as you get older, you get a little wiser because you begin to use these. You wonder why God gave you 2 ears and He didn't give you 1. And you should listen twice as hard.
When you're young, you think your parents are going to live forever and you don't have to worry about it.
But a lot of people, too, follow the path of what their parents have done, right or wrong. And things have changed. There's a lot, you know, new products out there, different things that have to be done than 20, 30, 40 years ago. So, you know, a lot of people just don't do it. And they say, I'll just do what my parents did. But there's so many better ways of doing things, technology and just products that are out there that people have to stop and take 5 minutes. Just take 5 minutes and realize.
Education, learning something is free. If you take time out, no matter how it comes to you. I was talking to Frank about doing a seminar, and I don't want to preach, but there's a right way, and then there's the other way. And this goes true for what Paul does. It goes true for anything. You know, music also will stir you in a certain direction.
Yep, you put the two together and go, oh, that's mom and dad's favorite song, or that was their song. Maybe I should start thinking about it. You never know what's going to resonate with someone, whether it's music, a book, a title, to have the conversations, that thought. Remember I said to you this morning, do you remember where you were when that song came out? It's like when Elvis died. Mm-hmm. Everyone remembers where they were when they heard that and what those memories evoke. Music, you go to any of these senior homes and it's the one constant.
Well, you have a progressive insurance commercial that says, we can't stop you from turning into your parents. Because that's what happens. You turn into your parents. And all of a sudden you think that that's the only way. And it's not. We got to break the trend.
I have a question.
Questions for Paul. Yes.
I have a question. Elvis is dead? So that's that false song that you're listening to that may be really
it's that fake song. But I do have a question for you before we go to commercial break, you guys. Janet from Miami wrote in, how does her mom convert to Medicare at 63? No one told me that she had to do this. 63?
65.
Isn't there a time where you have to make a decision, yes or no, but it doesn't mean you have to take it?
Is there a sliding?
Yes, I mean, it's before your birthday, so whether it's 6 months before or then 6 months after, there's a window there where you have to make that decision.
At what age?
65 is
65,
the age.
okay.
65 is the age.
So
I mean,
not
63 could be Social Security, so there's a difference, obviously, in timing. You could be 62 and start Social Security. All right, you lose a lot of benefits if you do it money-wise down the road. but Medicare itself is 65.
I made the mistake of doing it early, and you do lose a lot of money.
And you can't undo it, right?
No,
can't
no.
undo it.
This is
You're
what
stuck.
I'm talking about. Me, I was going to start it tomorrow. I'm not even
Social
61
Security,
yet.
yeah, don't start it yet.
Well,
They
again,
do
if health reasons, I mean, there might be reasons why people do it. Okay, so it's not always wrong to do it, but it depends on health, family history, things like that, where people think and know they have their crystal ball and say, you know what, I'm not going to live to 80, so let me take it early, let me get as much as I can. That's the only reason why you would do it.
And then
Freddie,
you had
you-
also mentioned about
Yes?
You drove a stretch, right?
Yes.
How long did you feel that you could continue to do that?
About 20 minutes.
I mean, I stopped working at 64. I looked at what it would, I mean, at the age of 75, the amount of money I would receive by stopping then would have been equal to if I had waited till the full 66 years.
How old are you?
I was 64 when I stopped
That was in
working.
2016 you moved here.
I'm sorry?
In 2016?
Yeah, in 2016, yeah. I'll be 70 next month.
That's what I'm looking at. How old are you?
I'll be 70 next month.
Wow. You look amazing.
Well, thank you. That makes two of us.
You look amazing. Thank you.
But I thought about it, and it was about $200 difference a month in my Social Security amount. And I said, you know what? I can't stand to work in New York City anymore. Getting across town was like a major endeavor. So I said, I'm
True
going to
that.
stop. And I would never
Well,
regret
Florida's
that.
turning
We don't
into
know how
the-
long we're going to be around anyway.
That's right. It could be 24 minutes. You know, leaving here, something bad can happen.
You just don't know.
You don't know.
I've had now coming up on 6 years of just bliss.
That's 'cause of
my
Florida?
time. My time. Time is the one thing that money comes, money goes, but time only goes.
That's right. It's on the one-way door.
So yeah.
That is
so
true. And you talked
I
about...
can't speak for others, but I'm glad I stopped working when I did. I have my music now. Now I can do music
we're gonna keep
all the
working.
time.
I know we have to go to commercial, but on the topic of Social Security, spouses can get half of their others before they file? Was that the Social Security?
Yeah, you can. Well, somebody has to file, but then you can get half. So both don't have to turn it on at the same time. So the rules play out where if somebody turns it on, the other spouse can take half of theirs and then let theirs go until they hit 70, which is the maximum.
See,
that
to
you
me,
can
that's
get.
like a huge hot tip
Yeah.
that people don't realize.
Yeah, and then I spoke to somebody yesterday, they thought their parents, even when somebody died, that their mother was going to get both, the husband and the wife. And I'm like, no, you get one. Which one was bigger? And they said there really wasn't much of a difference. I said, okay, so let's just say it's X. But people don't know that either.
But
they
the
don't
living
realize-
benefits are tremendous, that you can take half
Yeah.
of your spouses and you keep yours not
Yeah,
converted
you
yet.
can make a lot of money off of Social Security if you plan correctly.
And Paul, even after divorce, you can.
Correct. There's
If you
rules
were
within
married for
divorce.
10 years, I believe.
Correct.
You can take your ex-spouse's.
Correct.
If
As long
it's,
as you
if it's
get
more than
married.
yours.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How long does the divorce thing go?
10 years.
Oh, after that, it's no good?
No, you have to have been married for 10 years.
What about if I was married 17 years?
Right.
You're in.
For how long?
If she'd get more money than you can take hers.
Really?
It's a phone call. All you gotta do is call the Social Security Department and give them the scenario.
I got to get her number, though, don't I?
You should have their Social Security number to make it easier.
Really?
You know, the thing is, though, Freddie, you won't be taking her money. She'll still be able to get hers.
Yeah, she doesn't get less, but she also has to have it turned on. So if she didn't turn it on yet,
She probably hasn't turned it on.
I gotta
She's
sit. I gotta sit through this now.
She's not.
The show has
She's
changed.
old as you.
She's younger.
Oh, then she hasn't turned it on yet.
it did. It did.
She's younger, but
Quick
she
turn.
made more money than me.
You gotta wait till she turns it on.
She worked for one of the biggest insurance companies in the world.
All right.
Oh.
On that note,
Oh, on
let's
that
take
note.
a commercial break.
Oh, absolutely. Somebody passed the
When we
wine.
come back, more with Luhu Advisors and Paul Solomon. We've got some more music brought to you from JM Productions, and we've got Frank Graffola. We're ready to talk spirituality. You gonna go there?
I
Just
gotta
keep
talk
the
to
faith.
Frank.
Is all we can say.
Keep the faith.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422. For no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there. Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can pick up a bag from us, or two. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. Guess what? They want your money and they can take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter right over here that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you right now. So what do? You fight back by letting our team of experts work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And hey, we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws, and we'll fight really hard to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket. 5 minutes of your time right now can save you thousands of dollars. And the best part, it's a free call, so please call right now.
Call 800-651-4808.
Has your heater busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW Home.
Life's been pretty worry-free since I got covered with ARW Home. Don't waste thousands of dollars on air conditioning, appliance repair, and replacements. Save that money with ARW Home. Protection plans that cover household appliances, systems, and electronics.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. I called ARW, and they came out and fixed it right away.
Get your free quote today. Call or go to ARWHome.com now.
Call 877-281-0289.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
You love putting seminars together.
I do. I think the seminar for fourth quarter is the wave of the future. I think that that's going to carry a lot of fear, a lot of, there's always a new virus coming out, and it's the fear.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of this has to do, they want to slow down spending. They don't want you to spend because they want to slow inflation down. So gas is coming down, so they're just getting that fear thing. It's funny, when we were in lockdown, they gave you money to stay home.
Yes.
Now they're just spending that money to stay home. They don't want you to spend it. They don't want you to do anything. They want to keep the lid down on you spending money.
Well, there's so much extra merchandise that's out. Nordstrom's and Macy's and Target and Walmart, everyone's got this ton of clothing that they can't get rid of because people can't afford to do all these other things. So.
And then the shipping lanes opened up, and all of a sudden you get cars now. All of a sudden you can get furniture. Everybody showed up. And all of a sudden we don't have a driving shortage. I guess everybody's driving. Yes.
No, I was going to say in regard to that, what hasn't slowed down is restaurants. They are jam-packed.
That's now. If you would have been, like when I go to breakfast about 3 weeks ago, empty. Empty. Everywhere I went, I said, where are they? They used to tell me, it's coming. So they started ordering food to sort of pack the back. Now there's waits everywhere. It's ridiculous. Because all those people that bought, school started, and here they come, and they're here. And they're building, right here on your model, they're building these little cages. I thought they were cages, they're apartments. They're going for $2,000. You know, I can always tell when you open the front door and you can see the back door from the front door, they're about this big, $2,000. And they're right on your model, right in the middle of your model, going to a federal. So more people are coming, more apartments are needed, more rentals are needed. The housing thing has cooled down a little bit, but they're still making deals, right? I mean, it's the real estate.
Yeah.
They're making deals, but it's definitely softened up, and you know the interest rates doubled, right, theoretically, and that's kind of what killed the market. And I don't understand, and this is just a general question. I mean, real estate really is a big producer in this country. I mean, especially in Florida, because every time there's a sale, the taxes that are implemented, that's why we don't have a state income tax here. Real estate drives the state. And I don't understand why the government doesn't realize this. And they, 6 months ago or 9 months ago, if we raised it slowly, it would have slowed things down. But when you just dump interest on it.
It's fear. They didn't know how to stop this runaway train, which they created.
Right.
I mean, they gave you money to stay home. They gave you extra money if you had kids. They gave you all this. Remember when Mick came in here, he says, oh, good, and we got money that way. They were throwing money at you just to stay home so you wouldn't get sick and spread it. Now they're trying to put the brakes on it, and they're hitting the wrong marks. Real estate should not have they should not have upped this thing, because people would have slowed down, and they're still not slowing down.
Right.
No.
Gasoline became the problem because we're paying $5. Now it's what, $4.20, $4.19?
$3.70 today. I spent.
$3.70. But this is all politics, though.
Costco. I filled up the other day at Costco. It was $3.05.
Yep, me too.
For gas.
Wow. Unbelievable.
But it's a whole political.
But getting back to the rental, the complex that I live in Plantation, they're like 99% filled occupancy-wise, with like 400 apartments, and what they're paying for rent. And people, I don't know where they got the money, but they're paying a fortune in rent for a one-bedroom.
They're not eating.
It's over $2,000.
People stop eating.
Yep.
Buy bread, peanut butter, and jelly, and then go pay the rent. I'm serious. This is what's going on right now. Because it was a fear about gas. Gas came down. That was another problem, getting to work and everything else. And
But
it's an
everybody
issue.
was paying it, so like, why is gas going down all of a sudden?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Why? They haven't come out and said
Because
why.
Biden went
Because
to
it's the
Saudi Arabia.
primaries, and they're getting ready for the midterms, and it's all political.
Well, that's why today's
Of
student
course.
loan, student loan thing's coming
Yeah,
out
today
right?
he's giving away student loans.
$10,000
$10,000
cut.
to $20,000.
10 to 20.
And he's getting pushback for doing it.
Right.
Because it depends what color tie you wear.
Right.
Well, it's all
don't forget, the
political.
left wing and the right wing are on the same bird.
That's good.
I was
wonder
going
why
to say,
he's
what's
not
your next book about? We're going to anything politics,
You got any political stuff? Yeah.
The one I'm writing now?
His favorite one, huh, Christine?
Is it a political book?
No, it ends the sci-fi series that I wrote, because I left the third book on a cliffhanger, and I've had a lot of people say, "What's going to happen? You need to tell me what's going to happen in the next book." So I end it in the next book. I solved the cliffhanger.
And that's another cliffhanger.
I haven't got there yet. Maybe.
You don't know how it's going to end yet?
I don't know how it's going to end yet.
You know, it's like the end of a series. I was watching Only Murders in the Building on Hulu, and just when I watched the season finale, they leave you on a cliffhanger, of course, for the next season to keep you watching.
We got any news on the one that we're going to turn into a movie? Any updates?
No updates. I'm working on with a new producer for Stuck in Traffic. No updates on Blue Falcon.
When you have to convert your books to a screenplay, do they take your manuscript as is, or do you have to really go in and re-edit and do blocking and all of that?
Normally what happens is they approve your synopsis or treatment first of the screenplay. Then they'll read the screenplay. Some directors and producers will take it, and then they change it. Some producers will say, we like it, but we need you to change this, 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 and this.
So you have to
and then we change it. And then they end up changing it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the written word and capturing on film are two different entities. It's not always easy to capture.
Most of the time, that's what happens. Frank's right. We were talking, Frank and I, a couple of months ago. Same thing. I mean, what you got in the book, if you get it good enough to get produced somewhere, they're going to change it.
They're going to change it anyway.
They're going to change it anyway.
Yeah.
And you got to be able, depending on who the actors are, to pull it off.
Well, because the director has what he thinks the movie should look like. So he's going to look at that script and say, well, I don't like this, I'm going to change it to do that, and I don't like this, I'm going to change it to do that. So that's why 9 times out of 10, when you read a book and then you go see the movie, you go,
I like the book
wow.
better.
That's not even
right?
close.
Isn't that usually what it is? I like the book. When you go see the movie, you always like the book better because you've envisioned it in your own way.
Yeah.
And then someone comes
and the
in
reader
and changes
envisions the book their own way, and what you're looking on screen is what the producer and director envisions the book as.
And you'll have to work with the ingredients they're given. If you got an actor that doesn't do stunts or stuff like that, and your book has a lot of stunts in it, you're going to have to sort of change the way. And that subtle look that you write about in a book, sometimes it's very difficult for people to pull it off.
I'm in the middle of, with Joe Corso, not Joe Corso. We're doing with the other company in May of next year. We're doing a reading from the book Wagon, which is a Holocaust book which dealt with the Holocaust, and we're right now converting into a stage reading from the book. And it's, what it's going to come out to, I don't know. It's being done by Morse Life here in West Palm.
Mm-hmm. Totally different.
It's interesting because, and then time changes things. So depending on if they want to convert a book into today's time, past time, I watch, what is it, Wick? The guy who shoots everything up in the place.
John Wick?
John Wick. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I was watching how they put that together, and he does a lot of his stunts. Same thing like the guy from Top Gun who broke this and broke that. One of the reasons the guy from 007 is not doing it anymore is that the last time he broke his leg and ribs and everything else because they like to do their own stunts.
Yeah.
They read it as well. And you can't do it physically. You can't jump out of a plane and land, on that spot. It's hard. You get professionals to do that.
Yeah, but your book, Stuck in Traffic, when that gets out to the public, the amount of visibility it will bring to human trafficking and what is truly going on, I didn't realize until I started working with you that South Florida, is like number 1 or 2 in human trafficking.
Was number 1.
Boca Raton, one of the hotels right off of Glades Road, was known for not hosting, but
those houses on A1A.
South Florida is one of the top, and Ohio.
Yes, I heard that too.
People don't realize. So to bring your book forward as a movie, as a screenplay, to say, wake up, this is what's going on, that's a tremendously important impact for people. You talk about keeping the faith and getting that message out.
We have Mama Ali here, and her next movie is about that whole
Human trafficking.
And so I said I want a part in the movie, and she wants me to play the bad guy of the human trafficker. I said, really? Me? You. I said, me? So she's in that whole realm as well because she's a big, she wants something done in the state capitol, and everything is about politics. There's big money involved in this thing. And I mean, you see in the news when they caught that guy doing it and somebody killed him in jail, and you just look around. But Florida, I gotta tell you, Florida is a very strange and interesting place to live in right now.
Yeah. It's good for Paul at the moment, right?
Absolutely.
Our laws are different than anywhere else in the United States.
That's true.
But we got
seniors, come on down.
But we got new blood. You know, you don't realize it, but you got new people coming in that don't know Paul. They don't know what JM Productions bands.
Sure.
They don't know Frank either. This is an opportunity to jump out there and say, you know, why don't you come on down, a cup of coffee, maybe a glass of wine, do a lecture, listen to a seminar, get educated, get entertained at the same time. See, I'm looking for the balance. That's why I created that Night Train thing. Because I was watching Soul Train one night, and I said, man, back in the day, you remember Soul Train?
Soul Train.
Sure.
Remember Soul Train?
Don Cornelius.
Thank you. I is the white Don Cornelius, baby.
And they told you you're not allowed to say that.
And they said I'm not, but I'm going to say it
can't
anyway.
that.
And the kids got together and they got dressed in 70s clothes.
Are we doing that tomorrow, by the way?
We're supposed to do it tomorrow. That was the deal.
What are we doing? It's Frank.
So
you never have to change your clothes.
That's okay. I'm going to be the Cornelius. I'm getting the hair and
The
everything.
kid in the curse, like, Freddie never changes his clothes.
I'm going to wear the white Cornelius hair.
Okay.
And the funny thing is that they're going to be dancing. There's going to be cameras and people are going to be dancing to the music. But this is all that throwback because I remember growing up listening to that stuff and watching that stuff, and music became a big deal for my brother and everything else. That's never changed. It's the addition, the Pauls, the Franks, the addition that you do to that whole thing, and then you turn it into an entertainment and an instructional deal.
Like a lunch and learn, but at night. Do you ever do, I guess they're not lunch and learns anymore, they don't exist, but seminars and...
I used to do dinner seminars, but you know, they became very expensive, and it's hard to know who's there for the meal and who's there really for the information.
Welcome to Florida.
Right. They're called plate liquors. I mean, that's in the industry. That's what
They're called what?
Plate liquors.
A plate liquor.
Plate liquor. So they would come out. They had no intentions of buying anything.
That's
they
for
got
dinner.
a free invitation. Let's go out and get a good free meal. And I used to do them at nice places. And I decided, you know what? There's a better way.
We used to do something at the Heart of Del Rey on Friday nights, the walk. And they were all plate liquors. Nobody did nothing but lick plates. They didn't buy a damn thing.
They were glass suckers, yes.
Glass suckers meet plate liquors. And I used to say to the guy, why do you keep doing this? Oh, it's good publicity. Meanwhile, people were getting sloshed.
Right.
He was going through 400 bottles of
Wine
Prosecco.
and champagne, Prosecco all the time, yep. And a whole lot of work for a free event.
For what? And then the cleanup on that thing is scary. So the floor looked like a giant pool.
Pretty much. That's how you know you're hanging out with me too much.
I gotta tell you, it just didn't make no sense. That's why the balance of entertainment and the learning experience has to go hand in hand.
But it takes time because you've been here for a couple Thursday nights and you met JC and her husband. And you came back again, you met them. And it takes that time to build the trust with anyone, to get a book. I like this book. Should I read this book? But then I saw Frank. I really like that book. I like Paul. Let's answer this question. Let's have the conversation with mom and dad. It's not an overnight, other than music, where you can actually have an instant feel, right? Because you have that feel with music. Everything else takes that time to build the trust.
Yeah, but you gotta have
and
the talent
feel.
with the music too.
Yes.
It's
You know,
building
you
the
gotta be able
trust,
to bring
right?
it.
I mean,
It's
it's
building the
trust
trust.
like anything else. Just because I have the information, how do I present the information, right?
That's
and
right.
it might take 1 or 2 times.
And you have to be patient, man. For everyone
But I'm going to
does
tell you,
it.
delivery's everything. If you, what I like about Paul is Paul will work a room. If you work a room, no matter if the entertainment is going, I've seen him do it. And he's not closing a deal here, but he's letting you know, listen, I'm here if you need me. And the next thing, he gets a phone call. And I laugh when I see him. And I go like this, how many you got? Because he gets a few phone calls.
Yeah.
So delivery is everything. I'm not looking to close a deal when we're doing something.
What's his name? Just called me today. The coffee.
Joey?
Joey?
Joey.
Oh,
called me,
good.
and he
About
said,
his
I
mom.
might have. I think they have Medicaid already. I said, okay, but there's different different types of Medicaid. Got to find out this information. He's like, wow, you gave me some great information. Now let me go find the answers, and can I call you back? I said, of course you can call me back. But that was just him coming in here, right, delivering his paper. And
he needs your help. He's in a bad way right now. He should call you sooner than.
You know what happens? There's all these commercials on TV with these famous movie stars and TV stars, and they tell you to buy these insurance plans. And because you've got such great feelings about their old TV shows, right? They're so famous, you go to buy them, and you realize that might not be the best plan for you. That's why you got to call Paul.
it's tough for me to compete with Tom Selleck, right? Okay, I get that, but I'm hoping here through this venue that I become Tom Selleck. That's kind of my dream.
What do we got to get you? A red Corvette? Was that what he drove?
Ferrari.
Ferrari. Okay, that's what we got to do.
I'll get you a little toy car. The information is important.
Right.
The
Do you
delivery.
realize how much Tom Selleck gets paid per episode on that Blue Bloods?
You know, it's really funny. You ever seen Tom Selleck move in Blue Bloods? He can barely walk. You see
I was
him?
saying that usually he's standing or he's sitting.
He's always sitting.
Yeah.
And he has that broom on his face, and he gives you the, because he thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt.
How
You
old
ever
do you think
notice?
Tom Selleck is?
74.
Yeah? I was thinking, sounds good.
He's in there. But I remember when Tom Selleck was a young man, and he did a lot of movies. There's a lot of throwbacks. I got to ask you, that seminar you did with Goldie, with the book, how many women did you have in here?
Probably 15.
There was no men, right?
For Goldie's, yes. For the ladies, no. For the drink seminar I had with Summer, it was only
No,
men
I'm
for
thinking
Fem
about
City.
Goldie. Yeah,
Goldie's
men and
was-
women?
Yeah, because Goldie's was about her book. It's actually apparently being made into a movie.
I remember
I
that.
see she's got some funding or something.
And there was a lot of people in here that night. But how did you pull off the people is what I'm looking at.
How did I pull it off?
How'd you get people to know about it?
We publicized it. She invited her friends and her following because it's not all about us. It's who follows Frank. What's his demographic? What's the genre? Who are the people that follow him? Or who? Paul. Different people.
Interesting. I got an idea. Okay. So
It goes out to their people. So we made a flyer, we do whatever, and then Frank passes it on to all of his people.
It's interesting. We did a show called Tells Your Biz on Monday night with a gentleman who, that book is over there, about Florida back in the day, and people submitted pictures. And the group grew to 250,000 people. And everybody contributed to this book. And they came on here Thursday night, unannounced, and we put them on. And there are over 5,000 hits on this show.
His daughter was one of our original interns, so he called. He goes, "I got a book coming out. Can you give me some publicity?" Sure, let's do it. And his partner was in a hotel in Colorado, so it was not even a good connection. Right. You tell me. So it's the content. It's not necessarily
The delivery.
Right. It's who it is. It's who's watching. It's who's listening.
And the other thing I want to announce is that JoJo is going to open up on the 15th.
Of September.
Yep. And we are headed up because we're going to indoctrinate, or whatever the word is, for the stage. It's going to be the cafe stage.
Nice.
Is that JoJo at Jake's Crab Place?
Yes,
I talked to her last week.
She's actually opening up on the 15th.
Right.
We're going to go up there and we are going to open up the stage
Okay.
with
You
some
singing?
entertainers. Well, if I got her.
Freddie with a Y?
I think Frank said he was talking to her about. I don't know who she's lining up.
All right, so
but
we'll see.
our end of it is the camera end of it, because what we're going to do is on Thursday nights here, we're going to shoot it up to her and go back and forth on the sound. Just like they did at the Grammys, where they had New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, and they switched off the cameras.
Very cool.
So we're going to try to pull it off and see if it works.
Very nice. All right. Paul, let's give out your information again.
My cell phone number is 954-540-6609, or my website is luhuadvisors.com.
And Frank, your website?
My website is frankaruffolo, ruffolo.com. My email is the same thing, frankaruffolo@gmail.com, and you can find me on Amazon.
And we're going to probably put a ad on to his website to sign up for the seminar. And what I'm thinking is that we bring Arizona's dad into the fold, open it up.
An editor's
have
desk, maybe?
And have an editor, maybe with the three of them. That'd be tremendous. And see if we can fill the house.
They'll be in tomorrow. Actually, they have that U2 tribute band author's coming tomorrow to do a book reading for our Kids Network for his children's book.
This should be fun.
So he wants to work on that. And for JM Productions, bookings for Omega B.
This Saturday at City Fish Market, and we're putting together a live venue show with the band and with them working on the show now, so we can go out and sell it. We're going to do a video on it. We're going to actually go into the studio the week of, I think it's
22nd of September, Jeff, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's going to wind up being the 23rd when you're back.
Okay.
And take it from there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we're Gasparini Express featuring Omega B.
that's the name of the group.
All right, you guys have one more to take us out for the day?
We have another one for you, of
All
course.
right. We're going to wrap up
Whenever
today's
you're
show.
ready.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We're going to have Omega B and Freddie G, Gasparini Omega Express. I kind of like that name. I feel like I'm going on the bullet train. Going to take us out. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Tune into the Mystic Spiritual Alchemist at 3 o'clock. And we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Shout out to Marge Griesmeyer, our fantastic
Oh, there you go.
watching the show.
Perfect.
Yeah, she's actually.
Right? Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Though you don't call me anymore, I sit and wait in vain. I guess I'll rap on your door, tap on your window, babe. Gonna tell you, baby, changes I've been going through. I'm missing you until you come back to me. That's what I'm gonna do. Why did you have to decide you had to set me free? Ooh, I'm gonna swallow my pride. Gonna beg you, baby. Baby, please. I'm gonna walk by myself till I get through to you. Gonna prove my love is true till you come back to me. That's what I'm gonna do. Living in a world, my dear, it's like living in a world of constant fear. Baby, please hear my plea that I love it's dying. Although my calls you ignore, somehow I must explain. I'm gonna rap on your door, tap on your window, pain. I'm gonna sit by your step until I get through to you. Gonna prove my love is true till you come back to me. That's what I'm gonna do. Love till you come back to me. That's what I'm gonna do. Till you come back to me. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.